Alright, so I have some more tips on how you can refine your animation after you go back into your file after you have your first draft. So some things you can play around with scale. So these first 5 I scaled up when they hit. So if I open this up, you're going to see that there are the dots, and oh my gosh, I can't get to where the keyframes are, but that's actually, you need to open these up. So I see position, and so also in here is where the color is. So there's those keyframes. So you have to just keep, if you can't get to your keyframe, you have to just keep on opening it up. So this program's pretty robust, and there's lots of bells and whistles in this program. So this class is just to teach you the basics of how to use it. Now with scale, so I'm going to hit the watch, and wherever my timeline, wherever the playhead is in my timeline, it gives a keyframe. I can also move these keyframes independently. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to scale up onto the timeline, and I'm going to scale up frame by frame. So timing is really important. You want it to kind of snap. So I'm going to now change this to 149. So when I did that, laid a keyframe down and ended up scaling that up. I'm going to go over 2 frames and take this back to 100. And I'm also going to select this keyframe, right click, go to keyframe assistant, which is down at the bottom, and it's out of your view, easy ease in. So it changes my keyframe to that. So when it comes in, they kind of snap. All right, now the next thing I want to do, I'm going to close this up, and I want to pre-compose these because I want the wheel to then roll off the screen. So I'm going to select all of them, go up to, actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to Precompose, and then I'm going to call this logo color and hit OK. So what that did was it created a brand new composition and put all of those files in, and now I don't see the Wesley Wolf logo right here, the words. Okay, so that's what it did. Now, it made another composition. I can go back to logo, my initial one, and I see right here, this is the composition that is nested in the logo composition. So when I end up pulling my playhead, playing it, you'll see here it is. But now what I want to do, I open this up, I have the different transform tools right here for this composition. I also have the anchor point here, and this is where all the motion is coming from, and I'm going to be using the rotate, so I actually want to put it right here in the middle. I'm going to use this tool, it's called the pan behind tool, to move my anchor point. It will not move with a selection tool. Now I need to make sure that I have my selection tool, so I'm going to select it. My selection tool locks it in place. Now I'm going to hit my playhead, and about maybe, I'm going to zoom out on my timeline, maybe about right here. I want to be able to see it for a little bit and then have it roll off. So I'm going to click on the watch. I'm going to take my playhead down my timeline a little bit, and right here is time. So maybe I wanted to go rotate 5 or 6 times, and this is the degrees. So as you can see, it's rotating, but I want it to rotate and look like it's going off the screen. So I'm going to hit the watch, and then I'm going to take the playhead. I'm going to grab this. Holding shift will allow me to make a straight line, so I'm taking it across, and then it rolls off. All right, so I have that. Now Wesley Wolf, I want this to come in. So here are my layers. I'm going to animate these coming in. I don't want to keep grabbing this by accident, so I'm going to lock it. So I just lock that. Now I'm going to grab Wesley Wolf. So this comes in like that. And then as that comes in, I'm going to have Wesley come in. So I'm just really using my position for that. So I selected all of those, hit P on my keyboard, and then I'm going to hit one watch. And because each layer was selected, it laid down keyframes for all of them. Drag this back. I'm going to have Wesley come off, and I'm holding down Shift, and it will make a straight line. All right, so it comes in. I also want to make sure that I have the motion blur on. So you can see it's now blurred. Then the logo goes off. And then I can also pre-compose Wesley Wolf photography or photographer. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to right click, hit pre-compose, and then this is, title this text, hit OK. So then that kicked it into another composition. And if I go back to logo, you're going to see now here all of that has been put into this composition, and I can then also just animate this composition with my transform tools. So if I open this up, I have transform. So I could maybe scale this up a little bit. So if I hit scale, actually before I do that, I want to take this anchor point and I'm moving it. I'm using the pan behind tool because I want the action to come from that anchor point, and I'm putting it in place by selecting the selection tool. Always want to get in the habit of doing that if you use the pan behind tool, because I'm kind of messing things up. So I'm going to hit position and scale. Move this up a little bit, scale it up. Right, there it is. And I have to move this, to open this up a little bit because it's a little short. All right, now the next thing, so this is the continuously rasterizing, so I want to make sure that that's selected, or it'll keep your vector images on the sharp side. All right. Okay, so that's on for a little bit, and then I'm going to then use my scale again. I want it to be on screen for a little bit, so scale right here, I'm going to hit the key. I moved my playhead down the timeline. I hit this, and it's going to keep scale in place. So from this point to this point, it's at 196%. That's what I want. If I don't do that, and then I'm like, okay, well, I want it here, and then I want it to get down to nothing, and I put 0. Let me show you what happens. Like, it doesn't stay. So I hit Command Z, and it is at 196%. Scrubbing through my timeline. Here's my playhead. I click the add keyframe, so it's holding this. And then I'm going to scrub through a little bit, take this down to 0, and it will take it off screen. Okay, here's another thing that I could do. So I'm going to go back, click on my keyframe. I'm actually going to delete that one that goes down to 0. I can unhinge this, so that's a constraint. And then I can then take that down to 0. So it looks like it collapses it. So this is the X coordinate, this is the Y coordinate. I took the Y coordinate down to 0, and it looked like it flattened it. I would do the same thing in the other direction too. So with the X coordinate, 0. Let's see what that looks like. right? If I wanted this to be a little bit faster, it's kind of on the slow side of the Wesley Wolf like collapsing. I'm just going to move my keyframe a little bit closer to that first keyframe. And it made it go a little bit faster. I can make it go even more faster by moving it. I can have this ease in. So remember, go to right click keyframe assistant, easy ease in. It just refines your animation just a little bit. It just kind of like lets it slow in to the resting place. All right, so that's what I have for you. I hope that helped a little bit. All right, thanks.